Are you able to see my screen? Can someone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So yesterday we have been discussed about the API testing, and also we have been discussed distribution testing as well. So today I am jumping on to the monitoring side. So why we need to monitor our servers? Okay. So our server, why we need to monitor? So that I am going to explain today, and what and all tools we do have for the monitoring. So those also I am going to talk about today. Okay. See why we need to monitor our server. Okay, our server utilizations like CPU utilization, memory utilization, these and all things we need to monitor. So why we need to monitor? First of all, okay, see, whenever you are running your test, okay, whenever you are running your test from the JMeter, so with huge amount of load, okay, so the total load, it will go and it will fall on the application, okay, application server. Okay, see, obviously whenever the huge amount of load is accessing that particular server, the utilization it goes very high. Enduku? Okay, see, I'll show you. Okay, see, now you are seeing Grafana. So this is the Grafana tool which you are seeing now. Okay, so let me refresh it. Okay, here you can see the utilization. Before going to do this, what I'll do, I'll go. So you know task manager, right? So you go to task manager. Click on the performance. Okay, so click on the performance. Here you can see the CPU utilization graph. You can see, right, CPU, memory, disk, Wi-Fi. So these are the things you can see. Now see, I am a single user. Okay, I am a single user using my mission. So you can see CPU utilization is very high. So sometimes it is going very high, sometimes it is going down. Okay, you can see there is a fluctuations like this. Okay, you can see here the graph. Okay, it is coming over here. You can see. Okay, so it is coming down to something around 40 something, and it is going high. Okay, so this is how you can see the CPU and all. So actually, okay, why we need to look into the CPU utilization, memory utilization and all means, so being a single user, I am using my mission, you can see the utilization is high. Okay, so whenever you are using with multiple multiple users for testing and all, at the time each and every user can be consumed your CPU utilization, memory utilization and all. So each and every thread, so it will consume CPU utilization, memory utilization and all. So therefore, whenever you are running with your load test or endurance test or whatever the test with huge amount of load, okay, so then the load, it will fall on the application server, and obviously the server utilization is very high. So we need to monitor that one. Okay, up to what point of time, okay, up to what point of time we can see the maximum and we can see the minimum. Okay, and also we can see how much resource utilization we are able to see, like a peak load, పీక్ యూటిలైజేషన్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది, సో దాన్ని కూడా మనం చూడాలి. సో అలా చూడాలంటే సో వీ నీడ్ ద టూల్. ఓకే, యూజింగ్ ద టూల్ యూ కెన్ మానిటర్ ద యూటిలైజేషన్స్ లైక్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్, మెమరీ యూటిలైజేషన్ అండ్ ఆల్. ఓకే, సో మెమరీ యూటిలైజేషన్, సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ ఎంత ఉండొచ్చు, ఓకే, నేను ఎంతవరకు మానిటర్ చేయొచ్చు, మ్యాక్సిమం ఎంతవరకు పెట్టుకోవచ్చు అంటే, సో దట్ యూ నీడ్ టు గ్యాదర్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ క్లయింట్. Okay, so as part of requirement gathering, so I think so you need to remember this point here. Okay, as part of requirement gathering, what we are doing, so we are gathering critical business transactions, we are gathering the response times, we are gathering the load, how much we need to apply on the application, and what type of testings we need to perform, and what is the hardware threshold statistics in terms of CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization. So these things and all you have been gathered at the time of requirement gathering itself. So therefore, let us assume your client is given the requirement like 60% is the peak utilization in terms of CPU. So then during the run, we need to identify, we need to keep on monitor the CPU utilization. So whenever the CPU utilization is going high, okay, beyond 60% it is going high, so then what you need to do, so you need to report that as an issue. So why? Because you are not meeting SLA. As per SLA, whenever you are running any test, okay, so the utilization should be less than 60%. If it is going very high, so then you can raise one defect on that. Okay, so let me show you like what and all tools we have to monitor the CPU utilization, memory utilization, and disk utilization. Okay, and network utilization. So these are all things mainly we need to monitor. So I will tell you. So the first tool is Grafana. Okay, this is the Grafana tool. Okay, so using this, what you can do, you can monitor the CPU utilization, you can monitor the memory utilization of your server, and also you can monitor disk and network utilizations as well. Okay, see, I'll tell you like why only Grafana we can use. Grafana is a open source tool and it is a visualizing tool. Okay, so you no need to procure the license for this. So this is completely free of cost. You can download the Grafana and you can install your Grafana in your machine and you can start using this Grafana and you can monitor any server. You can monitor your local server, you can monitor your remote servers. Okay, you can monitor your mission. So this is my mission. So whatever you are seeing in the Grafana dashboard and all, this is the dashboard of Grafana. So whatever you are seeing now, CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization and all. So this is the statistics related to my mission. So in my mission I have been configured the Grafana. Okay, you don't worry about the configuration and all. So actually in the real time, so what happens, your DevOps team, okay, your DevOps team or your network team or infra team, so they will take care about this Grafana and all. So they will configure the Grafana, they will configure the dashboard and they will share the Grafana dashboard with you. Okay, so what you need to do, what you need to ask them, so you have to request them to provide the URL. So this is the URL of your what we call your Grafana. Okay, you need to ask the URL along with username and passwords. So without having the URL and username and password, you cannot access this Grafana. Okay, so due to privileges issues. So I'll show you like. So this is the URL. You can see localhost colon 3000/login. Okay, so localhost is nothing but, so that is my local mission. So I have been installed Grafana in my local mission. So that's why it is showing like localhost. Okay, so colon, instead of this localhost you can see any IP address as well. మీకు IP address కూడా ఉండొచ్చు 192.168.2.3. like that. Okay, so colon 3000. So 3000 is the port. Okay, port number. By default Grafana it will run on the port number called 3000. So in the real time also, okay, whenever you are having the Grafana in your mission or in your any mission, so by default it will run on the port number called 3000. So in the interview the people they will ask you, okay, so Grafana on which port number it will run. Okay, by default you can say like by default it will run on the port number called 3000. Okay, so this is the URL. So they will share you an URL with you, Grafana URL. So just launch that particular URL in your browser. Okay, so whenever you launched your particular URL in your browser, you can see the page like this. Welcome to Grafana. Enter your username and passwords. So enter your username and password, then click on the login. Here we cannot create the username and passwords and all. Okay, so the DevOps team, so they will configure the Grafana. Okay, they will share the details to you. Okay, username, password, URL. So those three can be shared by your DevOps team or your network team or infra team. So you can reach out them. So they will help you and they will share these details with you. Okay, so whenever you have launched this particular URL, so you will be redirected to this page. So where you can enter your username and passwords. Enter the username password, click on the login. So that's all. So whenever you have been clicked on the login, so you will be redirected to the dashboard. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Welcome to Grafana something you can see. Okay, so here you can see plus icon, right? So you can see plus icon, click on the dashboards. Okay, so click on the dashboards. Here I think I have been shared on that on the, okay, home. Okay, so home, here you can see dashboards. Okay, under there you can see I have configured the one dashboard. So that is Windows host metrics base. That is the name I have given to configure my dashboard. Okay, so or else you can ask them. So whenever the DevOps team they have been configured the dashboard and all, so they have been given one name. Okay, సో వాళ్ళు ఒక నేమ్ ఇచ్చి ఉంటారు. సో యూ నీడ్ టు ఆస్క్ దెమ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ద డాష్బోర్డ్ డీటెయిల్, ఓకే, నేమ్ అండ్ ఆల్. So they will share the name. So under the dashboard you can find here. So click on the dashboard. So whenever you have been clicked on that particular name, you will be redirected to the dashboard. Okay, this is the dashboard. The same dashboard now you are seeing in the Google Chrome. So here I will go. Okay, so Google Chrome lo meer chustunaru same dashboard. Okay, so I'm coming from the top. Here you can see general Windows host metrics base. So that is the name I have given while creating my dashboard. So you can give any name over here. So instead of Windows host metrics base, you can give any name here. Okay, ఏదైనా మీ నేమ్ ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు while creating the dashboard. So that can be created by your DevOps team. Okay, and coming to here settings, you can see dashboard settings will be there. If you want to click, so you can click on that gear icon and you can see the dashboards like permission, general, JSON model and all that is not required. Okay, so you can leave it. So here you can see last 30 minutes. You need to click on that one. So this is the filtering. Okay, so you need to filter your statistics based on your time duration, time. Okay, end time. Okay, let us assume you are executing your test. When you are executed your test, let us assume yesterday you have been executed your test. Okay, so click on this from, okay, just click on that one. You can see one, this one, what is this, calendar has been displayed. Let us assume yesterday I have executed my test. Click on that yesterday date. It is 8. Okay, double click on that one. Double click on that one. If you double click on that one, you can see the date is displayed here. So let us assume మీ టెస్ట్ ని ఎప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంటారు. Let us assume you have executed at 3:30 p.m. So 3:30 p.m. means 15:30. So you need to enter, okay, in 24 format. Okay, 15:30 you can give. ఎంతసేపు రన్ చేశారు? హాఫ్ ఎన్ అవర్. లెట్ us assume హాఫ్ ఎన్ అవర్. సో 15:30 plus half an hour అంటే you can see like 16, right? So you can give like 16 here. Okay, so then click on the apply time range. That's all. Okay, so if you click on the apply time range, you can see the statistics and all. But ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు రావట్లేదంటే yesterday I have not used this what is this Grafana. Okay, so ఈ రోజు మాత్రమే నేను లాంచ్ చేశాను Grafana in my mission. So therefore I am not getting the statistics and all. Okay, in your real time what you can do, you can get the statistics like this. Okay, if you want I will go with today. Okay, so go to today. So at 8 a.m. okay, at 8 a.m. I have started my Grafana. Okay, so let me give as like 8. Okay, 8 to, okay, so ending time I'm giving like 8. Now time is 8:15, right? So let me give as 8:15. So I have given 8:15. Click on the apply time range. You can see the statistics and all. So this is the way how you can use this time filter option. Okay, so based on your test execution duration, we need to filter our statistics. Okay, so you need to check from date and to along with the time, and then click on the apply time range. And also here you can see quick filters are available. Last 5 days, last 15 days, last 30 days, 1 hour, last 3 days, like that also. If you want to use, you can use these as well. But whenever you are working, like whenever you want to see the statistics related to your test execution, at the time make sure that you are going with this way. Okay, go to absolute time range. So set from and to, and click on the apply time range. So you can see the statistics related to your test execution. Okay, so that is about this filter option. Okay, so next here you can see this is a zooming option. If you want to zoom, you can zoom it. If you want, right, if you click on that, you can zoom it. Okay, so you can see here refresh dashboard. You can see if you want to refresh your dashboard, you can click on this. So therefore the data will be refreshed. Okay, so data అనేది refresh అవుతుంది. And here you can see one down arrow. Click on the down arrow. You can see 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds and all. I am selecting like 5 seconds. What is that 5 seconds it means? So that is the interval, sample interval or time interval. Okay, so you are getting the data here. So from where you are getting? From the server you are getting. Okay, so how much time? So I need to take in between the, in between two samples. ఒక శాంపుల్కి మధ్యన నేను ఎంత టైం తీసుకుంటాను. సో దట్ టైమ్ ఐఎమ్ కన్సిడరింగ్ ఓవర్ హియర్ యాజ్ ఎ 5 seconds. ఐఎమ్ సెలెక్టింగ్ ఓవర్ హియర్. ఓకే, సో ఒక శాంపుల్కి మధ్యన, ఓకే, లేదా ఒక స్టాటిస్టిక్స్కి ఇంకో స్టాటిస్టిక్స్కి ఆర్డర్ చేసుకునే దాని మధ్యన ఎంత టైం ఇవ్వాలి, ఎన్ని సెకండ్స్కి ఒకసారి నేను స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద Grafana is a tool. Okay, it doesn't know how it can collect the data and all from the server. So therefore I am saying here, so by giving 5 seconds I am saying, so Grafana, so each and every 5 seconds you can get the statistics from the from the server. Okay, so instead of 5 seconds you can give anything, you can give 10 seconds means, so then each and every 10 seconds the Grafana, what it will do, it will collect the statistics from the server. Okay, so that is this option. So maximum we can go either 5 seconds or 10 seconds. The remaining we do not use. Okay, and cyclic view mode, that is not, you can ignore. Next one. So next one, you can see job here, Prometheus. Okay, you can see Prometheus. There is a drop down. If you click on the drop down, you can see Prometheus. What is this Prometheus? Okay, either job, I mean backend support, we need to use any one of the DB. So ఈ డేటా మొత్తం మీకు ఎలా రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది? సో బ్యాక్ ఎండ్, సో దేర్ షుడ్ బి ఏ DB kind of thing. So either the DB, like DB, you can use Prometheus or InfluxDB. So either InfluxDB or Prometheus, you can use any one of the what we call the resource. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ మన డేటా రిఫ్లెక్ట్ చేయడానికి మీరు Prometheus అయినా వాడచ్చు, యూ కెన్ యూజ్ InfluxDB యాజ్ వెల్. సో Prometheus ఈజ్ ఎ ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ వన్. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ ఐ ఆమ్ యూజింగ్ Prometheus ఓవర్ హియర్. ఓకే, and whatever you are using backend listener to this Grafana, so that will be replicated over here. If you are using Prometheus, so at the place of job it will be replicated like Prometheus. Okay, if you are using InfluxDB, instead of this Prometheus, InfluxDB is replicated over here. So that can be taken care by your DevOps team. So whatever they are fine to install the Prometheus or what we call the InfluxDB and all, so they can install that InfluxDB or Prometheus in their servers, and they will map this Grafana with Prometheus or Grafana with InfluxDB. So you no need to worry about that. Coming to host name, so this is the application name you can see over here. Okay, in front of the host name you can see the application name or application URL. Okay, so this is the dashboard which you are seeing for my mission. Okay, that's why you are seeing like localhost 9182. Okay, so instead of this configuring the dashboard and all to our local missions, so what we will do, we will configure to the server ni configure chesam. So at the time you can see the server URL, you can see server IP, you can see over here. Okay, ఇది నా లోకల్ మిషన్ కాబట్టి లోకల్ హోస్ట్ 9182 ఉంది. సో ఇన్ ద రియల్ టైమ్ యూ కెన్ సీ యువర్ సర్వర్ IP ఓవర్ దేర్. కమింగ్ టు అండర్ హోస్ట్ వ్యూ, యూ కెన్ సీ అప్ టైమ్, ఎప్పటి నుంచి మీ సర్వర్ అనేది అప్లో ఉంది. ఓకే, హౌ మెనీ ప్రాసెస్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఇన్ యువర్ సర్వర్, హౌ మచ్ ర్యామ్ యు ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్, ఐ మీన్ యువర్ సర్వర్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద CPU యూటిలైజేషన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెమరీ యూటిలైజేషన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిస్క్ యూటిలైజేషన్, నెట్వర్క్ ఇన్, నెట్వర్క్ అవుట్. సో డిస్క్ యూటిలైజేషన్స్ you can see, C drive, D drive, E drive. Okay, you can see the utilizations and all. The same information you can see here in detail, like CPU utilization, CPU details you can see. Okay, so what is the DPC, ideal, interrupt, privileged user means, these and all are the counters. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are monitoring the counters of CPU. So what and all counters you are monitoring here? Ideal time, interrupt time, privileged time, user time. So those are the the counters from the CPU end. So in the interview, the people, they will ask you what and all counters you are monitoring. So at the time you need to explain about ideal time, interrupt time, privileged time, user time. So these 4 are DPC. These 5 you can tell in the interview. Okay, so like the similar way you can say system exceptions. If you are getting any exceptions and all in your application, so you can see how many exceptions you are getting, at what point of time you are getting the exceptions and all. So those information you can see over here. On x-axis you can see the time, on y-axis you can see exception numbers. Okay, so here also in this CPU load, on x-axis you can see the time, you can see the time 7:55, 8, 8:05, 8:10, 8:15, 8:20 you can see. On the load you can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so load also you can see here. And system threads, so you know So whatever the process you are doing in the doing in your mission, so without thread, so you cannot do anything. So how many threads has been established? Okay, ఏ టైంలో ఎన్ని థ్రెడ్స్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అయినాయి, those data you can see over here under the system threads graph. Okay, so click on the memory details. So therefore you can see the memory details. Here you can see memory details. What is the virtual memory ఎంత ఉంది, okay, physical memory ఎంత ఉంది, free memory ఎంత ఉంది. So those statistics and all you can see over here. Okay, click on the virtual memory so that you can see how much virtual memory is there, okay, in your application. Click on the physical memory, so you can see how much physical memory is available. Okay, so click on the free memory, you can see how much memory has been free now. So that details you can see over here. Click on the network details. So if you click on the network details, you can see so how much data you have been received from the server, how much data you have been sent to the server. So those data you can see under the network statistics. Okay, network byte ఎంత వెళ్ళింది, లోపలికి ఎంత వచ్చింది. Okay, the same thing you can see here under the network here as well in the left side graph. Click on the disk detail. If you click on the disk details, you can see so in the C how much read and write operation జరిగాయి, D లో ఎంత అయింది, E లో ఎంత అయింది. Okay, so disk activity you can see read and write operations. C లో ఎంత read జరిగింది, ఎంత write జరిగింది. Okay, so those details and all you can see, input and output also you can see related to disk. Okay, so this is the small dashboard which I have been created in my mission. Okay, so in the real time also the same dashboard you can see. So now I'll show you the real time dashboard, how it look like. Okay, so Grafana Metrics. So this is my application dashboard which I am using now. Okay, now means in my previous company. You can see this is the dashboard. This is a real time dashboard. There is no nothing real and all. So whatever you are seeing here, same options you can see here as well. Okay, so you can see everything is same. There is no change in look appearance and all. So everything is same only. But so some of the features it may add it. So dashboard వేరే dashboard create చేసామంతే. You can see here node exporter full. So just now I told you. So here you can give any name. So our DevOps engineer they have given node exporter full. So they have given the name like that. And you can see here, okay, time filter. I have been filtered from ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఫిల్టర్ చేశాను, 12:1 to 12:40. So I ran the test from 12 to 12:30. So therefore I ran I have filtered my duration from 12 to 12:40. That you can see over here. Okay, and data source you can see Prometheus I am using. In the real time also we have used the Prometheus only. So job name you can see my application name is SafraPay. You can see here SafraPay. Okay, like how we are having Google Pay, Samsung Pay. Okay, like the similar way we are having the SafraPay. So that's why you are seeing here the SafraPay as a application name. Okay, and you can see the name of the URL. Okay, the URL of that particular application you can see 192.168.5.69 something. Okay, you can see the same thing. Under that you can see CPU utilization, CPU busy, okay, system load, RAM utilization, CPU ఎన్ని నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ CPUs ఉన్నాయి, ఓకే, ఎప్పటి నుంచి మీ అప్లో ఉంది మీ సర్వర్, ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ ద RAM utilization, ఓకే, RAM ఎంత ఉంది మీది, ఓకే. సో దోస్ డీటెయిల్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ యూ కెన్ సీ హియర్. CPU utilization. Okay, so busy system, busy user, busy low weight, busy IRQS, busy other, ideal time. So these and all are the counters which we have been added to our application server. So you can see now here the CPU utilization. I'm browsing. Okay. CPU utilization మీరు చూస్తే you can see, so before 12 you can see CPU utilization is 0. ఓకే, ఎందుకు మనం CPU చూడాలి చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, సో బిఫోర్ 12 you can see the CPU utilization is 0 over here. You can see here CPU utilization is 0. Whenever I have started my test, okay, the utilization goes high here. So it is crossed over 50%. Okay, so whenever the load is increasing, okay, you can see here the CPU utilization it goes to high. Okay, increase అయ్యింది. So then you can see there is a fluctuations like this. Okay, so there is a fluctuations and all. So once the test got completed at 12:30, you can see again CPU utilization is went to 0. So test execution ముందు 0 ఉంది, తర్వాత 0 ఉంది. So whenever I ran the test, you can see the utilizations are like spikes and all you can see. Okay, so this we need to look into. CPU utilization ముందు ఎంత ఉంది, తర్వాత ఎంత ఉంది, during the run how much CPU utilization will be there, the percentage and all. So we need to look into. Okay, so let us assume, so your client, he is given the requirement like 50% CPU utilization should be there. సో అలాంటప్పుడు ఇక్కడ 50% కన్నా దాటి వెళ్ళిపోయింది కదా. సో దేర్ ఫర్ వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ, యూ కెన్ రైజ్ వన్ డిఫెక్ట్ ఆన్ దిస్ బై సేయింగ్ దట్ సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ అప్లికేషన్ ఈజ్ హై, సో దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ మీటింగ్ SLA. యాజ్ పర్ SLA సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ షుడ్ బి లెస్ దాన్ 50%, but we have seen beyond 50%. So what is the proof for that? You can take the screenshot of this particular CP utilization and you can add that particular screenshot in your email and send that email to your dev team, DevOps team, okay, managers and leads, and also with the client as well. You can share that information with them. Okay, so that is how you can monitor your CPU and you can find out the issues and all. Okay, so next one, you can see the memory basics here. Memory information and all you can see. Total RAM ఎంత ఉంది, RAM మీరు ఎంత యూజ్ చేసుకున్నారు, so that details and all you can see here. And also you can see network traffic basic. Okay, so network traffic మీకు ఎంత డేటా వచ్చింది, ఎంత డేటా పోయింది, డిస్క్ యూసేజ్, సో డిస్క్ సంబంధించిన డీటెయిల్స్ you can see. Same CPU details, whatever you have been seen here, the same thing you can see here at the bottom as well. Okay, there is no difference and all. Okay. Memory statistics, same thing only. Network. Okay, so this is the biggest dashboard. You can see I am scrolling here. You can see many metrics over here, but these and all not required for us. Okay, so not required for us. Okay, for us main important is CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, and network utilization, and also the TCP connections. I'll show you TCP connections where it will be. I'll share this dashboard with you. You can go through this dashboard. Okay, ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి. Okay, you can see here network sockets. Okay, sock stats. Here in this you can see socket TCP connections. So we need to look into this TCP connections. So why? Because so whenever you have started your test here before after 12, okay, around 12:01 I have been started. So before that you can see that TCP connections are less than 50. You can see I'm rounding here. You could round చేస్తున్నాను మీరు చూడొచ్చు. So TCP connections are less than 50. So whenever I have started my test, you can see the TCP connections went high. Okay, the TCP connections has been increased. So enduku ante, so whenever you are doing some transactions from the backend, so whenever you are triggering the load from your client means JMeter. Okay, so you are triggering the loads from the request from the JMeter, so the request will be triggered to your application server. So without establishing the too many connections, like the many number of connections, so your request cannot be executed at the backend. So therefore the TCP connections, what it will do, it will establish more number of connections and it will assign the port numbers to each and every connection. Okay, so therefore, so here the TCP connections have been established. You can see, and you can see the fluctuations and all. Whenever the test got completed, you can see the TCP connections are trying to close. Okay, the TCP connections have been closed, and after the test also you can see the connections went to down to 50. So 50 ki takkuva అయిపోయినాయి. So before the test you can see TCP connections are less than 50. After the test also you can see the TCP connections are less than 50 only. Okay, so therefore, so there is no issue from the socket connections end, that is TCP connections ends. So if you are finding anything like test అయిపోయింది, టెస్ట్ ముందు మనకు less than 50 ఉన్నాయి TCP connections. After the test the TCP connections are not closing, so the TCP connections are going like that only. ఇక్కడ చూస్తున్నారు మీరు 250 పైన ఉన్నాయి. సో టెస్ట్ అయిపోయేటప్పుడు 250 అలాగే కాన్స్టెంట్గా ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి. సో దెన్ దట్ ఈస్ ద ఇష్యూ. So what you can do, you can raise one defect on that, saying that so the TCP connections are not closing after the test. Okay, so TCP connections are not closing, TCP connections are still alive. So team, please look into that particular issue. So that is the thing which you are going to share one email including the screenshot. We need to take the screenshot. Okay, as a proof, there will be a proof, right? So proof ga manam screenshot తీసుకోవాలి, share చేయాలి. Okay, so this what you can do. Okay, so using this Grafana and all. Okay, so using Grafana what we can do, so Grafana is a open source tool and it is a visualizing tool. Using Grafana you can monitor the servers. Okay, application server or DB server or any server you can monitor, like CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, network utilization, TCP connections. So these and all things you can monitor. Okay. So yeah, nowadays many people they are using Grafana for monitoring and all. So that's why. So preferably and specifically, I'm explaining this Grafana with you. Okay. So if you are having Grafana in your resume, you can get your call. You can get your the interview call from the interviewer. Okay. So this is most advanced tool like nowadays the people they are using. So that's why I have been explaining this Grafana with you. Okay. So you no need to worry about this configuration, how I can configure and all. So there is a separate team for that. Okay, DevOps team will be there. They can configure the setup and all. So being a performance tester, whatever they have been configured, so we'll take that setup and just we'll monitor continuously. That's all. Okay. So that is the role of the performance tester. We need to monitor using Grafana. So configuration and all that is not required. That is not our duty. ఒకవేళ మీకు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ చేయడం కూడా మీకు వచ్చా అంటే సో లేదు మాకు సపరేట్ టీం ఉంది వాళ్ళే కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు అని చెప్పండి ఓకే దట్స్ ఆల్ అంతకుమించి ఇంకేమీ ఉండదు సో కమింగ్ టు నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ సో ఆఫ్టర్ గ్రఫానా సో గ్రఫానా ఐ విల్ షేర్ ది స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ విత్ యూ గ్రఫానా మెట్రిక్స్ దిస్ వన్ ఐ విల్ షేర్ విత్ యూ యూ జస్ట్ గో త్రూ దిస్ ఓకే సో గో త్రూ దిస్ డాష్ బోర్డ్ సో ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి ఎలా ఉంటాయి ఓకే యూ జస్ట్ గో త్రూ దిస్ వన్ సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ So in some scenarios what happens, no, your client do not allow you to use third party tools. Grafana is a third party tool. Okay. So therefore your client do not allow the Grafana for monitoring purpose. Grafana in vadaddu enduku vaadtanu. So that is a open source tool, that is a third party tool. I don't want to allow Grafana to use to monitor my servers. So then we need to search, okay, we need to search for the alternative tools, right? So therefore alternative tools we have, so that tool is Puffman. So if you are using Windows Server, okay, if you are using Windows Server by default, so in Windows Mission, so we have the performance monitor. Okay, you just go to type here to search and search for Puffman. Okay, so you can see here performance monitor. So that is the tool so which you can use for monitor only for Windows missions. I am telling only for Windows mission. So using this Grafana, you can monitor any mission. You can monitor either it is a Windows mission or Linux mission or Unix or Solaris or Mac. Anything you can monitor using Grafana. But coming to here in our case Puffman, so that is the default tool which is available along with our what we call the Windows missions, Windows software. With Puffman, okay, search with Puffman. So you can see here performance monitor. Click on the performance monitor. So this is the tool so which comes along with the Windows mission. మీరు ఎక్కడ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. So directly it will be there in your mission. Okay, it will be there. So now, so this is the performance monitor tool. Okay, this is the performance monitor tool. By default you can see performance monitoring tools. Under that you can see performance monitor. Click on that performance monitor. Here you can see one graph is going here. See, so one graph is going here. What is that graph? That is coming in red in color, right? So bottom you can see red color graph, processor time. What is that? That is the processor time. Processor time is nothing but CPU. Okay, CPU time. Okay, you can see CPU time you are seeing here. Okay, so now I don't want to see the graph like this. Nakila oddu. I want to see the CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, network utilization, all the graph I want to see. Okay, here you can see only one single graph that is related to processor time. I don't want that. I want to see CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, network utilization. So these and all things metrics I need to monitor. So then what you can do? So you need to create one data collector set for that. So data collector set create cheyali. How you can create data collector set? So right click on the data collector set. Okay, click on the data collector set. You can see user defined here. You just click on that user defined. So right click on that. Okay, you can see new, select data collector set. Okay, so it is asking the name. Okay, I am giving like February batch, Feb batch. Okay, so I have given the name of the data collector set as a February batch, and just I am clicking on the create manually. Okay, so what I am doing here, manually I am creating the counters and all. So therefore data collector set I am creating manually. So therefore I have chosen this create manually. Okay, so real time, what you can do, instead of giving this February batch and all, you can give your application name. So let us assume you are working on the Safra Pay, so you can give like Safra Pay. Okay, so you can give the name like Safra Pay. Okay, like this you can give. Okay, choose create manually and click on the next. Okay, I am going to monitor the performance counters, so therefore you need to check this checkbox. Under the create data logs, you can see, so there are 3 checkboxes. So you check always performance counter. Why? Because I am going to monitor the performance counter, so therefore I have checked that checkbox. So then click on the next, don't click on the finish, click on the next. Here you can see performance counter. Okay, click on that add, so which is the bottom at the right side, click on that add button. Okay, so counters and all loading. So once it is loaded, we can add the counters and all. See, these and all are the counters we have. Okay, so చూడండి ఎన్ని counters ఉన్నాయి. So we are having too many counters over here. So from this we need to select. So ఏమేం counters మనం మానిటర్ చేయాలి? I want to monitor the CPU. So that is processor. Okay, so you can see here there is a processor. Okay, processor. So click on this drop down. Okay, down arrow click change. You can see here percentage C1 time, percentage C2 time, C3 time, ideal time, interrupt time, privileged time, processor time, so user time. So you can see, so that many number of counters and all. Okay, select these many counters. Okay, shift పట్టుకొని select చేయండి. At the bottom you can see add, right? Click on that add. So what it means, I am going to monitor the processors related to the counters related to processor, like ideal time, interrupt time, privileged time, processor time, user time. వీటన్నిటిని నేను మానిటర్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్, సో వాట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ, సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ మెమొరీ. సో CPU, నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ మెమొరీ. సెర్చ్ ఫర్ ద మెమొరీ. సో మెమొరీ విల్ బి దేర్ సమ్వేర్ ఎల్స్. ఓకే, వేర్ ఇస్ ద మెమొరీ? Yeah, here you can see memory. Okay, so available bytes, committed bytes, cache bytes, something. Okay, you can select either 3 or 4 and click on the add. See, I have been added the memory and processor. So like the similar way you can add the network, you can add the disk. Okay, so like that you can add based on your requirement, you can add many counters. Okay, మీరు ఇక్కడ యాడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు and click on OK. Okay, so once you have been added your counters and all, memory, CPU, disk, network and all, click on OK. Okay, you can see all the metrics have been presented over here, counters and all have been present over here. So under that you can see sample interval. In the Grafana I have showed you sample interval and all. Okay, so I have showed you. So ఏమని ఎలా చూపించాను? Okay, let me show you. Sample interval. So Grafanaలో మీకు ఇక్కడ చూపించాను, right? So 5 seconds, 10 seconds and all. So this and all are the sample interval. Like the similar way in our Puffman also we are having sample interval. So using that sample interval, what we are telling to the system or to the Puffman. So Puffman, each and every 5 seconds you need to take the samples. 5 seconds and better అనుకోండి మీరు. So unit you can see here seconds. Okay, minutes, hours, days, weeks also will be there. So better you can choose seconds only. Okay, so each and every second, every 5 seconds we are capturing the data from the server. Okay, so click on the next. Okay, so this is the root directory where you are saving your results and all. Okay, so మీరు డేటా కలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు, where you are saving the data. So in this directory or in this path you are saving your data. Click on next. Okay, so click on finish. That's all. So I have been created my data collector set now. Okay, so where is my data collector set? You can see Safra Pay. So you can see the status is stopped here. So that is in stopped position now. Okay, stopped state now. How you can make it run? దాన్ని రన్ చేయాలి. రన్ చేయలేదనుకోండి, it do not capture the statistics and all. It do not collect the statistics and all. అది కలెక్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? Right click on the Safra Pay. You can see here start button is enabled. Just click on the start button. That's all. Okay, you can see here the data collector set is active now and it is collecting the data and all. నీకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది అది కలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటుంది అంటే, you can see here the play symbol. Safra Pay, you can see there is a play symbol here. Okay, small symbol is there, play symbol. So what it means? So now the Safra Pay is backend, it is executing and it is collecting the data from your server. Okay, the data is collecting now. అసలు నేను ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి ఇది అంటే, బిఫోర్ గోయింగ్ టు రన్ యువర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్. మీరు ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేయాలి. సో JMeterలో మీరు ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేయాలి. స్టార్ట్ బటన్ మీద క్లిక్ చేసేక ముందు ఏం చేయాలి? గో టు Puffman. In the performance, make sure that you have been ran your data collector set. So data collector set run చేయండి, start చేయండి, then you go to your JMeter and start your test. Okay, and the test is going now. So whenever the test is going, so till that time, so your data collector set, it will capture the data from your server. So once the test got completed, so what you can do, so come to this performance monitor, so right click on the Safra Pay and click on the stop. That's all. Okay, so test అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మీరు స్టాప్ చేస్తున్నాం. Okay, so now I have stopped the data collector set. So where I can get the statistics and all, నాకు ఎక్కడ వస్తాయి డేటా అంతా, నేను గ్రాఫ్లన్నీ చూడాలి, ఎక్కడ నేను చూడొచ్చు డేటా అంతా. ఓకే, గో టు రిపోర్ట్స్. హియర్ యూ కెన్ సీ రిపోర్ట్స్, రైట్? సో క్లిక్ ఆన్ దట్ రిపోర్ట్స్, డబుల్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ద రిపోర్ట్స్, యూ కెన్ సీ యూజర్ డిఫైన్డ్ హియర్. Double click on that user defined. So here you can see your name Safra Pay. Click on that one. Okay, so you can see here, so data collector sets. Okay, so you can see data collector set. Click on the data collector set. You can see the graphs, you can see. Double click cheyandi, you can see the graph. Double click, you can see the graph. See, so this is the major graph. You can see whatever the counters you have been added, all the counters are present over here. Available bytes, ideal time, inter time, privileged time, processor time, user time. Okay, so these are all things you need to remember. Counters చెప్పమని అడగచ్చు మీకు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో, ఏమేం కౌంటర్స్ నువ్వు మానిటర్ చేస్తున్నావు అంటే అట్లీస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు టెల్ మినిమమ్ 3 to 4 కౌంటర్స్. Okay, so from the processor time, ideal time, user time, privileged time, processor time, user time, so like that you need to tell minimum 3 to 4 counters. So by heart these counters. ఓకే, సో యూ కెన్ సీ ఈ గ్రాఫ్ని చూసి మనం ఇప్పుడు ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి ఎంతెంత ఉంది యూటిలైజేషన్ అని. ఓకే, వీ కెనాట్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. వై? బికాస్ సో దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్. సో విచ్ ఈస్ ద మినిమమ్, విచ్ ఈస్ ద మ్యాక్సిమమ్ అండ్ ఆల్. మ్యాక్సిమమ్ ఎంత, మినిమమ్ ఎంత. ఓకే, సో ఆ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్నీ మనము ఈ గ్రాఫ్ని చూసి ఓకే ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలంటే కష్టం. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ ద పీపుల్ ఆర్ నాట్ రెఫరింగ్ టు యూజ్ దిస్ పర్ఫ్మాన్. ఓకే, సో టు మానిటర్ యువర్ సర్వర్స్. ఎప్పుడు వాడతాము దీన్ని అంటే వెన్ ఎవర్ వీ డు నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ అదర్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్. లైక్ వాడు గ్రఫానా అలో చేయలేదు మనకి, ఓకే, యాప్ డైనమిక్స్ అలో చేయలేదు, అలాంటప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలి, సచ్చినట్టు మనం వీ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ దిస్ డిఫాల్ట్ టూల్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ అవైలబుల్ in our missions and all. Okay, so at the time we can use this performance monitor and we can see the statistics and all like this. Okay, సో దీన్ని ఏం చేయొచ్చు, దీన్ని ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. మీరు నాకు అర్థం కావట్లేదు ఈ లైన్స్ అన్నీ అంటే వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ, యూ కెన్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ దిస్ డేటా అండ్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ డేటా వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ, యూ కెన్ ప్లాట్ వన్ గ్రాఫ్. ఓకే, లైక్ బార్ చార్ట్ ఆర్ పై చార్ట్, సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ గ్రాఫ్స్ యూ కెన్ ప్లాట్. హౌ యూ కెన్ డూ దట్? సో దీన్ని ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయండి. ఫస్ట్ రైట్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ద గ్రాఫ్, right click on the graph, you can see here save data as. Okay, click on that save data as and I am exporting this data. Okay, so into CSV format. Okay, I am not using BLG format. By default Hoffman extension is .blg. I am not using that format. I am using CSV over here and I am giving one name like Safra Pay. So what is my application name? Safra Pay. Okay, I have given. I am going to save the statistics and all in the documents. Click on the save. Okay, so the data will be exported now. Okay, now open that Safra Pay. Okay, so open that Safra Pay application details. See, this is the data. So ఈ డేటాని యూజ్ చేసి మీరు ఏం చేయొచ్చు, యూ కెన్ డ్రా ఎనీ గ్రాఫ్. ఓకే, పై చార్ట్ కావాలంటే పై చార్ట్, మీరు ఏ చార్ట్ కావాలంటే ఆ చార్ట్, బార్ చార్ట్ కావాలంటే బార్ చార్ట్ యూ కెన్ డ్రా. Go to inserts. Okay, go to insert. Here you can see charts. Click on the chart. Okay, so here you can see too many charts, line chart, pie chart, bar chart, okay, stock chart. So many charts available here. So you can select any one of the chart. Okay, so you can get the chart over here. Okay, okay, so దీన్ని maximize చేద్దాం so that you can see. సో ఇలాగ మీరు చార్ట్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సో ఎంత యూటిలైజేషన్ ఉంది ఏంటి అనేది మనం చూసుకో, కలర్ని బట్టి మీరు చూసుకోవచ్చు. అవైలబుల్ బైట్స్ లైక్ బ్లూ కలర్, ఓకే, రెడ్ కలర్ సంథింగ్ అవైలబుల్ కిలో బైట్స్. సో ఇలాగ మీరు సో గ్రాఫ్ అనేది ప్లాట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. దిస్ ఈస్ ద వరెస్ట్ సినారియో. సో నవ్ డేస్ ఆల్ ద పీపుల్, సో వాట్ దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్, దే ఆర్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ ద ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ టూల్స్ యాక్సెస్ అండ్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ దోస్. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ వీ do not have any alternative, at the time we can use the Puffman and we can create the data like this. Okay, ఇలాగ వాడుకోవచ్చు మీరు. Okay, so that is about Puffman, why we need to use the Puffman. Okay, how you can create the data collector set in the Puffman, and how you can get the data here, and how you can export the data into the CSV. Okay, so some people they are asking how you can use the Puffman and all. Okay, you should be in a position to explain how you can create the data collector set. Okay, how you can export the data, what and all counters you have been added. So these and all things you are in a position to explain. Okay, so next one, Enmon. Okay, so after Puffman, so we have one more tool called Enmon. Okay, so let me Enmon ఎందుకు ఆల్రెడీ Puffman ఉంది కదా, సో Enmon ఎందుకు వాడాలి అంటే, let us assume your server is a Linux mission. Okay, your server is Linux mission. In Linux mission, I'm not sure, like you do not have this Puffman and all. So Puffman is the default tool, so which is available in Windows missions. Okay, so in Windows missions it will be there. In Linux missions, so we have an alternative, so that is Enmon. Okay, so I do not have the access to this Linux mission, so therefore I have taken the screenshots from my Linux mission, so which I am working in current company and all. So I have been so prepared one document here. I'll share this document with you, how you can generate the Enmon report and all. Okay, so this is also very important. The people they will ask you how you can generate the Enmon report, so using Linux mission and all, or else simply they will ask you, your client do not allow you to use, okay, open source tools like Grafana and all. Okay, at the time we need to take the CPU utilization, memory utilization and all, how you can take. So my server is a Linux mission, can you please explain what is your approach to collect those data and all, like that they will ask you. At the time only the single line answer, yes, so we have the Enmon, so Enmon command, using that Enmon command, so I can get the data and all, so I can see the CPU, memory, network, disk, these details and all I can monitor using Enmon command. Okay, how you can see, so మీకు తెలియదు కదా Linux mission ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఎలా చూడొచ్చు అని. So that's why I have taken the screenshots and I have been included, so each and everything over here. See, సో మనం Linux మిషన్ అయితే ఏం చేయాలి, ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ యూ నీడ్ టు పర్ఫామ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద కమాండ్ లైన్. సో కమాండ్ లైన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ టర్మినల్. ఓకే, మనం దాన్ని టర్మినల్ అంటాం. ఓకే, యూ కెన్ సీ టర్మినల్ వీ విల్ కాల్ ఇన్ ద లైనక్స్. ఓకే, టర్మినల్ ఓపెన్ చేయాలి. సో వన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఓపెన్ ద టర్మినల్ లైక్ దిస్, ఓకే, సో జస్ట్ ఎంటర్ ద కమాండ్ enmon. ఓకే, సో ఎంటర్ ద కమాండ్ లైక్ దిస్ enmon, జస్ట్ హిట్ ఆన్ ద ఎంటర్ బటన్. enmon అని టైప్ చేయండి, జస్ట్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ద ఎంటర్ బటన్. సో యూ కెన్ సీ ద స్క్రీన్ షాట్ లైక్ దిస్. Okay, you get the screenshot like this, enmon. Okay, so let me zoom it a bit. Okay, you can see the screenshot like enmon, and under that you can see use these keys to toggle statistics on or off, something you can see. That what it mean, if you want to see the CPU utilization, you need to press C. Okay, మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, so you need to press C in your keyboard. If you want to see the memory utilization, you need to press small m. Okay, if you want to see the disk utilization, you need to press small d. So like that, so you can get the details by pressing the keys in your keyboard. Okay, so let us assume I have been pressed like something m over here. Okay, I have pressed m. So you can see here the statistics related to memory. So what is the total memory, what is the free memory, what is the free percentage, what is the cache memory, what is the swap memory, what is the highest memory. So those memory details and all I can see here, you can see. Okay, whatever the screenshot you are seeing here, the same thing you can see in the Linux mission. There is no changes and all. Okay, so whatever the screenshot you are seeing here, the same thing that will be there. Okay, if you want, I'll share this Enmon report with you, keep with you. Okay, whenever tomorrow working with any other company, okay, so they will give the Linux missions and all, so you can follow the same steps, you can get the Enmon report. Okay, that's all. Okay, see, సో ఇక్కడ m అని ప్రెస్ చేశాను కాబట్టి ఐఎమ్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ ద మెమరీ స్టాట్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సీ ద CPU, సో జస్ట్ ప్రెస్ C, యూ కెన్ సీ ద CPU డీటెయిల్స్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సీ ద నెట్వర్క్, సో జస్ట్ ప్రెస్ D, యూ కెన్ సీ ద network, so you can press N. Okay, you can see the network details and all. If you want to see the disk utilization, you just press D. ఓకే, నాకు ఎలా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలంటే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, యూ కెన్ సీ హియర్. సో మీరు enmon అని ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇక్కడ వచ్చే స్క్రీన్ షాట్లోనే మీకు ఉంటాయి. C is for CPU, M for disk, D for disk, M for memory, D for disk, like that. So you can get the details over here itself. N for network, you can see. So the details and all will be there here itself. So based on that you can go and you can get the statistics. Okay, so ilaga meeku vastadi. But నాకు అలా వద్దు. ఓకే, నేను నాకు అలా వద్దు. ఐ వాంట్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ ద డేటా. నాకు డేటా అనేది క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో నేను చేయాలి, రిపోర్ట్ అనేది క్రియేట్ కావాలి నాకు, సపరేట్గా నేను రిపోర్ట్ కావాలి నాకు. ఇక్కడ జస్ట్ ఓన్లీ టర్మినల్లో మాత్రమే చూస్తున్నాను. నాకు అలా వద్దు. నాకు ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఫైల్కి నేను ఏం చేయాలి, రిపోర్ట్ని ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. అలా ఎలా చేస్తావు? సో వీ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ వన్ కమాండ్. సో దట్ కమాండ్ ఈజ్ nmon command here. So this is the command nmon -f -s 15 -c 240. So this is the command which you can use and you can generate nmon report in Linux mission. Okay, what is this f? F you can see timestamp. So whenever you are generating nmon report, so for each and every millisecond there will be a timestamp, right? ప్రతి ఒక్క టైంకి ఒక టైం స్టాంప్ ఉంటుంది. ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ మిల్లీ సెకండ్ మారే కొద్ది టైం స్టాంప్ అనేది మారుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ వీఆర్ టెల్లింగ్ దట్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద టైమ్ స్టాంప్ యూ కెన్ జనరేట్ ద స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. And the sample interval, already we have discussed about S is nothing but time interval or sample interval. So whenever we are discussing about the Grafana and all, we have seen here sample interval 5 seconds, 10 seconds like that. So here, okay, this is the sample interval. Okay, in the nmon also we have the sample interval here. So that is S. Okay, S is the sample interval here. After S, if you want to get the statistics for each and every 5 seconds, you can give 5 over here. If you want to get statistics for each and every 10 seconds, so you can get 10 over there. Okay, so like that you can give. So what is this C? C is nothing but how many snapshots we need to take per hour. స్నాప్షాట్ మీన్స్ ఎన్నిసార్లు డేటా అనేది నేను కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, గంటకి ఎన్నిసార్లు డేటా అనేది కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి ఫ్రమ్ ద సర్వర్. సో దట్ ఈస్ సి. ఓకే, సో మనం ఏం చెప్తాము, స్నాప్షాట్ అంటాం. స్నాప్షాట్ అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, ద ఫుట్ ప్రింట్ వీ కెన్ కాల్. ఫుట్ ప్రింట్ మీన్స్ సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్, మెమరీ యూటిలైజేషన్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ అవన్నిటిని మనం తీసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇప్పుడు, ఒక ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్ని తీసుకెళ్ళాం, మనం బయటకు వెళ్తున్నాం. సో వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ అలాంగ్ విత్ అస్ ఆ ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్. వాడికి ఏం చెప్తాం, బాబు నీకు డబ్బులు పే చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి గంటకి ఇన్ని ఫోటోలు తీయాలి అంటాం మనం. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాడు వాడు, మన వెంటనే వస్తాడు, పర్ అవర్కి ఇన్ని ఫోటోలు అన్నాడు కాబట్టి ఇన్ని ఫోటోలు తీస్తాడు అలాగా. సో హియర్ స్నాప్షాట్ వీఆర్ గివింగ్ హౌ మెనీ స్నాప్షాట్స్ వీ నీడ్ టు టేక్ పర్ అవర్. సో nmon వాట్ ఇట్ విల్ డూ, సో దిస్ మెనీ స్నాప్షాట్స్ ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ సెండ్ ద డేటా. ఓకే, so using this command what we are doing, so we are generating nmon report. Okay, so that nmon report, so same command I have been entered here, you can see in the terminal. Okay, so same command enter chesanu, just click on the tarvata enter button meeda click chesanu, that's all. Okay, so a command a nmon report will be generated. Okay, so nmon report generate avutundi. Ela generate avutundi, the extension should be like .nmon, nmon. ఓకే, అది ఎక్కడ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది అంటే, సో వేర్ ఎవర్ యూ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఓపెన్ ద టర్మినల్, మీ టర్మినల్ ఎక్కడ ఓపెన్ చేశారో అదే పాత్లో జనరేట్ అయి ఉంటుంది. మీరు డెస్క్టాప్లో టర్మినల్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే డెస్క్టాప్లో జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, డాక్యుమెంట్స్లో అయితే డాక్యుమెంట్స్లో జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, లైక్ దట్. సో వేర్ ఎవర్ యూ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఓపెన్ యువర్ టర్మినల్, సో ఇన్ ద సేమ్, ఓకే, ఇన్ ద సేమ్ పాత్ ఓన్లీ ఆర్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ డైరెక్టరీ ఓన్లీ యూ కెన్ జనరేట్ ద .nmon report. But using that .nmon report, so it do not like it is not like readable format like our JTL. So data అనేది గజిబిజిగా ఉంటుంది, you cannot understand by seeing the data. So therefore what you can do, so using that JTL file, how we are generating HTML report, like the similar way here we are using .nmon report as a source, and I am generating one HTML report. .nmon ని మనం సోర్స్ ఫైల్గా తీసుకొని ఏం చేయాలి, వీ నీడ్ టు జనరేట్ వన్ HTML report. How you can generate that HTML report, so this is the command. Okay, nmon chart is the command, so which you can use and you can generate HTML report. So what is the source file? Source file is .nmon. Okay, whatever the nmon report you have been generated, so that is the source file. అది ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది మీకు సోర్స్ ఫైల్, ఇంతకుముందు మీరు జనరేట్ చేశారు. ఓకే, సో హియర్ సో యూజింగ్ nmon -f-s-c, so using this command you have been generated this file, .nmon file you have been generated. So using this file what we are doing, so we are generating HTML report. So here after nmon give one single space here and then provide any name here. So provide any name, but the extension should be .html. Okay, extension ఎలా ఉండాలి, .html ఉండాలి. You can give any name over here. నేను ఇక్కడ మధు PC something I have given. Okay, so you can give anything. Okay, you can give any name, but extension should be .html. So then click on the enter button. So that's all. Okay, so the file will be generated, html file will be generated. See, html file like this. Okay, html ఇలా ఉంటుంది. Okay, you can see here, this is the html okay page. Okay, so cpu utilization, cpu usage, run queue, block, p switch, memory, swap, network, okay, disk. You can see many things you can see here. Okay, see some of the I mean screenshots I have been captured and I have been displayed over here. You can see I have been clicked on the cpu. You can see the cpu statistics over here. Okay, cpu statistics చూడొచ్చు. So on x-axis you can see the time, on y-axis you can see the percentage. Okay, so percentage ఎంత ఉంది, so those things and all you can see here. You can see the counters, ideal time, wait time, system time, user time. You can see 4 counters you can see. And yeah, CPU మీద మళ్ళీ క్లిక్ చేస్తే CPU usage అని ఉంది కదా, దాని మీద క్లిక్ చేస్తే you can see I am using 4 core mission. So therefore for each and every core you can see the statistics over here. Core 1 కి ఎలా ఉంది, CPU 2 కి ఎలా ఉంది, CPU 3, CPU 4. You can see system సంబంధించిన statistics మీరు చూడొచ్చు. Okay, click on the memory. So if you click on the memory, so you can see the memory statistics over here. Okay, so memory total ఎంత ఉంది, memory free ఎంత ఉంది, okay, cache memory ఎంత ఉంది. So those details and all you can see in the memory graph. Okay, if you click on the disk you can see, or network you can see network statistics, in enta, out enta. So those data and all you can see here. So like that here you can see. Okay, మీరు ఇక్కడ చూడొచ్చు CPU utilization, CPU usage, run queue, block, disk. Okay, so disk write, disk read, okay, disk size. So whatever you want, you just click on that particular thing. Button లాగా ఉంటుంది, you just click on that button so that you can view the statistics related to that particular metric. CPU అయితే CPU, memory అయితే memory, network అయితే network. So like that you can get the statistics. You can see the statistics over there. Okay, so this is how you can generate Nmon report. Okay, in the interview the people they will ask you, okay, in the Linux mission, how you can generate, how you can monitor your servers and all, how you can get the CPU, memory, disk and all. Okay, ఎలా చేసుకుంటాం అంటే this is the process you need to explain. Simply you can tell like, so using nmon, okay, so nmon command we can get the statistics and all అని చెప్పొచ్చు మీరు. Okay, లేదు ఇంకా వాడు సాటిస్ఫై అవ్వలేదు అంటే, so you can explain this. So using nmon command, so we can get the statistics and all. If you want to export our data and all, okay, so at the time what we can do, we can write this command. So nmon -f -s 15 -c 240. This is the command which I can use and I can generate the .nmon report. And using that .nmon report, what I can do, I can generate HTML report using .nmon chart as a command. So I can generate HTML report. So that you can explain in the interview. Okay, so I'll share the PDF documents with you, keep with you and go through the documents. So whatever thing will be there. Okay, so that you need to go through carefully and you are in a position to explain. So each and everything. Okay, మీరు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటట్లు ఉండాలి. Okay, yeah, so this is about like okay, so how we can monitor the servers. So using Grafana, using Postman, using Nmon. Okay, so these and all are the like 3 popular tools which we can use to monitor. So using App Dynamics also we can monitor the CPU utilization, memory utilization and all. So tomorrow I will tell you, okay, why App Dynamics, why we need to use the App Dynamics. Okay, what and all things we can do in the App Dynamics. So those and all things I will explain tomorrow. Okay, yeah, so if you want to install this Grafana in your machine also you can install, but it will consume lot of memory and all. So don't, setup and all not required, you no need to worry about the setup and all. Okay, yeah, whatever the PDF document I am sharing with you, you just go through that document and see what and all things were present over there. ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి, నేను ఏమేమి మానిటర్ చేయొచ్చు, ఏమేమి కౌంటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ మోర్ దాన్ ఎనఫ్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద రియల్ టైం. సో వాట్ మీరు ఎక్కడైనా చూడండి గ్రఫానా ఇలాగే ఉంటుంది. గ్రఫానాలో ఇంకేమి కొత్తగా ఏమీ ఉండదు. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ యువర్ సీయింగ్ హియర్ సేమ్ థింగ్ విల్ బి దేర్. ఓకే, సో దీన్ని ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేది ఏమీ ఉండదు. జస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు ఫిల్టర్ యువర్ time based on your execution time and you can see the statistics. You can get the statistics and you need to monitor your statistics. CPU enta, memory enta, disk enta, network enta, TCP enta. So those statistics and all we need to see. Okay, మనం చూసుకోవాలి, అంతకు మించి ఇంకేమీ ఉండదు. Okay, so this is called like monitoring the servers. So you can monitor your servers using Grafana, using Postman, using Nmon. So using App Dynamics also we can monitor. Okay, but the people they are not using App Dynamics for the monitoring. They are using for the profiling purpose. Okay, so tomorrow I will tell you what and all things we can do. So using App Dynamics. Okay. Yeah, I'm stopping here for the day. So anything from your end, you can ask.